What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Smark Show, episode number 12. I'm Nick Tricone.
Steve Herman, what's up?
What's up, wrestling fans? This is Mike Cap for the after-hour edition of the Smark Show. What's up? This is Mike Cap.
What's up?
Good intro.
Thank you.
Good intro. So, a lot to talk about in this episode. Mainly Hell in the Cell, because pretty big surprise there, I would think.
Yeah, pretty good show.
Got some headlines. We'll get into that a bit later, because I want to jump right into Hell in the Cell.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Just with the start of that. Yeah, Alberto Del Rio's back. I mean...
Yeah, holy shit. First off.
Yeah. That was a...
None of us predicted that.
That was a surprise. I'm not sure if it was like a big surprise. Nothing to send Steve running laps around his basement big, but...
We were both
I was still shocked, sure.
We were both pretty, like frozen almost. Like,
because,
holy shit.
I mean, we've talked recently, like, before Del Rio, or outside this podcast, like, there was rumors he wanted to come back to WWE, they were interested.
Yeah, weren't we just talking about that? Yeah.
And like he said, he wanted to come back like a WrestleMania thing, like Batista did.
That's got to lead you to believe that maybe that was like a work by them. Like, they already knew he was coming back. So,
I read something that like Triple H was talking to him for like 2 weeks about this contract and stuff like that. But I mean, it was a cool surprise. It's great to have him back, man. Like, he's a really good worker, and let's see what happens.
I would assume this also has to mean that they made up for his exit from a few months back. Or
last year.
Well, last year now, where, he left over a bad comment from an employee.
Which is fired. The guy's fired now.
And, he just got fired.
Yep.
In general, even though he kind of left. Like, I guess they made up for that. But I remember at the time he said he was never going to come back, so...
Yeah.
I mean...
Good on their part for being adults, It's not something you can say about WWE often. They're usually pretty, you score, burn them or whatever, and they'll hold it against you forever, or if they do something scummy to you, and whatever. But it's cool to see them resolve this pretty quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not right now I'm excited to see him. I'm not a Del Rio fan in any like way, shape, or form. But even I have to admit, that was cool as shit seeing him come back.
Yeah.
Especially with the rumors we were talking about,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I also want to talk about this too because. They put the Cena match at the top of the card. Mm-hmm. Well, not at the start of the card, I guess is a better way
to open the show, yeah.
To open the show. And we were shocked by that once we saw what the order of the matches were.
Yes.
So you were going to know right away who that guy was, but we still didn't know going in. And Steve, you and I were talking as the show was starting to get going, who is it going to be?
Yeah.
They were saying in the pre-show, Booker T kind of hinted it would be someone from Cena's past.
Yes.
But you can't really pin that on Del Rio because that's a lot of people.
Yes, there's so many feuds he's had with.
They could have looked toward They could have looked toward the ramp, and Ryback could have walked down for all we know.
Yeah,
Zack Ryder, like anybody. Yeah,
Bray Wyatt.
Pretty much anyone on the roster.
Yeah, pretty much
had some run-in with Cena
Wyatt,
in some way, shape, or form.
Swagger. To be fair, when Zeb Coulter came out, we were all sitting there like, Swagger?
Yeah. Really? They're trying to repackage him again?
I was actually immediately, I was like, there's no way this is Swagger. Like, I didn't for a second think Jack Swagger was walking out. The whole time I was like, he's coming out with a new client. I didn't think it was going to be Del Rio, but
Who did you think it was before he came out? Did you have any idea or no?
No idea. I was like, it's not Swagger.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that Swagger is going to be the one they build all this steam up to.
Yeah, there's no chance. The guy's been off for forever.
Del Rio would probably have been in my top 3 people, like especially once Coulter came out. I was like, all right, well, he's in my bottom 3 for people I think would have came out. So
yeah,
they still got a lot to work with that angle because it's kind of illogical that they're together as like much as they hated each other in history. I mean, bigger rivals have squashed their beef, so to say, in the past, but I don't know.
They were trying to work it on Raw, the Mexican title now.
Yeah, definitely a little wonky, but it doesn't matter. The fact that Cena doesn't have the U.S. title, Del Rio's back, is cool enough to carry that until Cena returns and inevitably takes his belt back.
Yeah, for sure. Probably.
I think that's a foregone conclusion.
You think he's going to get the title back?
Yeah. Del Rio's a placeholder.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. It could be interesting.
Cena getting back? I'm not sure, but...
I think a lot of it depends on when he comes back. With them going to WrestleMania this year with Vince making all the claims that he wants to like break all the records and whatnot.
Attendance record, for sure.
Looking, I don't know about from logical stance, but if you go into Vince McMahon's mind, you're thinking, all right, I'm Vince McMahon. How do I think that we're going to sell the most tickets? John Cena's the first thing that's going to pop in your head. So
yeah,
I think this this WrestleMania season, we could see the build towards Cena finally, tying Flair's record. So, if that's the case, then Del Rio keeps this belt when Cena returns. But if they do not plan on giving Cena the tie at WrestleMania, I don't think Del Rio holds this belt. Cena gets it right back.
Yeah. I mean, could be interesting. We'll have to see what happens with that,
Yeah. I will say this. When we were talking about who might face Cena, who would come out to challenge him, I mean, I thought maybe it was Kofi just to run through a New Day order. But I was also messing with Steve. I'm like, all the lights are going to go out. You're just going to start to hear the heartbeat. And then all the smoke comes on.
Stop. just stop.
Then Finn Balor's theme starts rolling and everyone loses it.
And then Damian Balor comes out.
But no,
I would have liked that too.
Yeah.
I mean, that ultimately shocked us. I mean, for all of us. And that match was very short. I mean, 8 minutes.
The
finish as well.
The perils that Cena has escaped from, then to just go down to, a backstabber and then
a kick to the face.
Yeah, the Avada Kedavra, that's what Seth Rollins calls it, but I don't know what Alberto Del Rio's version is. But either way, I mean, it's cool looking, I'll give him that. I much prefer that to like his arm-based attacks before. That looked pretty vicious, just kicking someone in the face.
Yes.
That's why I was very pro Seth Rollins taking that back as his finisher when he lost the curb stomp, because I don't know, if your finisher looks brutal, that is, I feel like almost like a fifth of your character already down. Your finish is a big part of who you are.
Yes,
and Del Rio switching it up and doing something like this is pretty cool.
Del Rio's kicks are on point, too.
Yeah, I mean, he used to always do the Enziguri anyway, so he's not new to kicking.
Oh, I know, I'm just saying, his kicks has always been great throughout his career.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, Yeah,
we'll just see what happens.
Whatever, like I said, it might be 2 months that he has the belt, but it'll be a cool 2 months at least.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it's cool having him back, but, like, they didn't really sugarcoat it. I guess would be the right way to say. He just walked out.
Yeah.
He didn't even say a word.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even say a word for
until
he looked
Raw
great,
that night. Yeah, he looked really good in shape.
JBL was saying it too. After I know that we were saying. I really think that this could be a launching point to I mean, the U.S. title's already way higher than the IC at this point. But I don't know, if they pay this proper attention, I think that this could be what gets the U.S. title to almost the main title levels, having Cena and dudes like Alberto Del Rio coming back, especially when they do the surprise that they did right now, how often do we have surprises? We were talking about it with the Dudleys before.
We've had a lot this year, to be honest with you.
They
compared to other years.
It's definitely something, I got to give them credit for. Cause,
yes, there's been a lot of shocking surprises.
We make sure that we know when they mess up on here, but, we got to give them credit, too, when they do good.
Yes, and this was a really good match and segment here, overall.
Yeah, so do you want to backtrack to the pre-show match for a little bit, or?
I mean, I don't care.
Nah, generally, I feel pretty bad that Cesaro and Neville and Ziggler and all these
Sheamus
really good...
and Barrett and Rusev.
That you have 6 good wrestlers that you could fit into that card somehow, but they're relegated to the pre-show.
And like how we talked about before in our last podcast, how some of these guys were on the main card the year before, and now they're shifted to the pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, well, look at the main roster. Well, not right now, but look at all the top guys who are taking up big spots in this pay-per-view. Kane, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, John Cena, Randy Orton was supposed to be on here. He's gone. So as you see these guys go, as we were saying before, Hell in the Cell, as you see these guys, start to make their way out or take their breaks like Cena's doing right now, those dudes like Cesaro and Neville and all them are going to be thrust into a more prominent spotlight.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah, I'm definitely welcoming it.
Oh, and I think we all are.
I do want to mention this because as time goes on, as we have more time with the network, I'm kind of having more mixed thoughts about this. Just about calling it the pre-show match, because it just feels like the longer this goes on, it just kind of absorbs into the pay-per-view.
Yeah,
almost.
it's just that it's almost the opening match. Yeah. Just I don't know why they have to distinguish that it's the pre-show or not. It's kind
of like degrading it, downgrading it. I was about
to say, it's almost like belittling it for no real reason,
It's kind of stupid, to be
honest.
honest.
Match, yeah.
I mean, it's one thing if only the people in the arena saw it, but now everyone generally saw it.
Who knows?
I'll be honest, if you're still paying, $70 for the pay-per-view for your cable provider?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're an idiot, yeah. Well,
But just buy a PS3.
You're barely functioning in life.
You don't even have to buy a PS3. You could just run it through your computer.
Yeah, true.
If you are not like illegally streaming it or paying $10 for the network, I don't know how you're still like alive. Like you have to be really dumb. I'm saying you have to be like really dumb. To pay $60 or $70 for this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how you've made it this far in life if you're that dumb. Like get the network, people. The thing's awesome.
Yeah, the network has awesome content.
Michael Cole, you want to plug the network for us? $9.99.
Just like Netflix.
You can listen to the Smark show for the cheap price of $0.00.
It's true, guys. It's a bargain.
It is a bargain.
You could
good content on here too.
You could get it for free that way on YouTube, or you could go through your local Twitter provider and send us like $70 for the content.
That's not how Twitter works.
Just saying.
Yes.
And I just
That's how my Twitter works.
For the record, the Smark show does not condone illegal streaming.
The Smark show doesn't.
Yeah, the Smark show doesn't.
What comprises the Smark show is another
story. Opinions are those of the sole individual.
That's right. And now the next match was quite a surprise.
Reigns versus Wyatt?
Yeah.
Another
like
one.
That match.
We were like flipping out at the match order. Not flipping out in a negative way. Like we just couldn't believe that they kicked it off like this.
Well, going in, it wasn't so much Bray, but it was Roman Reigns. You never really saw him in this type of match.
No.
Yeah.
The funny thing was, I just want to bring up from the other Smark Show episode we did. We predicted the right match order without even knowing it.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was very weird.
And
weird coincidence.
You didn't bring it up until the
next
night after.
Yeah.
I just got a text going. I went back and listened through the episode. We got all the matches in the right order, and I was just wondering, like, how?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
odd
and weird.
You don't really know for sure until like at least like 5 minutes before that thing starts.
Yeah. But with Bray and Roman though, I would say this was probably match of the night.
I don't think even probably. I think this was definitely match of the night.
Yeah.
Even with like the destruction that was Taker and Lesnar in the ring, this was match of the night.
This was probably Roman's best match.
This is, I think this is going to be, as we were just talking about the network, they have all these documentaries, like looking back at the different eras and careers and shit like that. And I think this is going to be one of those matches that we're going to see on those videos for Bray and Roman Reigns of, this is the time where they stepped up and took the brass ring. You had, arguably, well, not arguably, you had definitely bigger names on the card, and Seth Rollins and Kane and Undertaker and Brock Lesnar, and these two dudes were put against each other. They put it all out on the line, and they stepped up and stole the show. It's like very reminiscent of, those old, Triple H versus Undertaker, Stone Cold, or Rock matches where they just beat the shit out of each other all over
Triple
the
H,
ring.
Cactus Jack.
Yeah. So, I think this is going to be one of their jumping point matches where we're going to look at these guys and be like, this is where...
And these guys are going to be feuding for years.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be feuding for years. And
yeah,
how about that spear on the table though?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, there are so many cool little innovative. Even when he stuck the chair through the rungs of the
and the kendo stick as well.
There's a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, just like creativity. That was really good by them, I thought.
Bray just poking Roman with the kendo stick.
Yeah, that was fun. That was good heel tactics, I thought.
One thing we were disappointed about, not disappointed, it doesn't take away from the match at all, but we really wanted to see someone scale the cage. Obviously later on.
Yeah.
Well, because you saw the footholes.
Yeah, we noticed them before, last year.
Even last year too.
But logically, it's probably just the same cage, They just didn't recut the footholes in. But, it really would have been, even, I don't expect anyone to go through it anymore, especially because it's so much bigger that, and with all the health and wellness things, they don't want Roman Reigns to die through a cage. But it would have just been cool. It would have just been cool to see them battling up there.
Yeah,
or Taker and Lesnar. Like, could you imagine covered in blood, just standing on top of the cage?
Would have been insane.
But yeah, Roman and Bray up there, I think would have just been something. That would have been like that moment where you look back at this pay-per-view and that's it. Those two standing on top of the cage, just kendo stick in hand or some shit.
I don't even think. It would have been a great spot if they went up there, but I don't think they needed it. Honestly,
match was still, as we said, match of the night without it.
You mentioned the blood with Taker and Lesnar, though, and I can't help but think just like the WWE play-by-play team going, blood? What's blood? What is this? What is this red substance of which you speak?
That was great, especially when they showed Lesnar when they Taker threw him into the pole and his head split open and the camera angle they used clearly showed his head not really smacking onto the thing.
I know.
Yeah, blood still just burst out of his head, and then you had the whole Lesnar was blading at WrestleMania thing.
Yep.
So we'll definitely get some stories, I'm sure, out of that.
Oh, for sure.
All the conspiracy theorists, but who cares? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but before we get too far into Taker Lesnar territory, tag team championship, New Day versus Dudley Boyz. No Xavier Woods.
No Xavier Woods again because he got written off because he was getting married.
R.I.P. to the...
New Day didn't miss a beat, though.
No, they did
R.I.P. to
not.
the trombone, too.
Yeah, tromboner.
Oh my!
Big E couldn't get it in, so we'll get it here on the Smark Show.
I understand. Well, it was probably worked in that he would stop right before. He said
I'm
it.
just saying.
I would guess.
So Steve,
I just love how he had that pause. He went trombone players.
So Steve, the Dudleys were guaranteed to win the belts here, right?
No.
What?
No,
think
I have no idea what you're talking
I think
about.
someone made that prediction on the last.
I didn't say.
The last two predictions. I'm pretty sure the Dudleys were 100% supposed to win the belts.
Well, okay.
TLC.
I was wrong.
TLC,
All
baby.
right. But there's rumors now that the Usos are coming back, so they might want to push them now. So
There's no way, if the Dudleys re-signed, that they are not going to give them something at TLC. I don't care if the Usos, the bland-ass, boring Usos are back. The Dudleys will win at TLC.
You think so?
Yeah, they have to. Even if they don't win, whatever. The Dudleys will be involved in a match for the belt at TLC.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be.
Yeah, they have to.
It's the goddamn Dudleys, and it's TLC.
See.
TLC doesn't exist if the Dudleys don't exist.
And Edge and Christian.
That's what I'm saying. The Dudleys were a very...
Yeah, they're a good integral part of that.
Arguably the integral part in that,
Yes.
you know?
But this match, I mean, between the Dudleys and New Day, I thought it was going to end in a DQ, with that, especially with that spot with Eddie Guerrero, with him throwing the trombone to Bubba Ray. I thought if that's typical WWE booking, they DQ that.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And I was really shocked about it. I'm like, okay, let's see what
That
happens
was a good
here.
play for the ref
Yeah.
to say, no, I don't believe you. Match is still going.
Yeah,
I was
real
like,
good.
okay.
Real
all
good
right.
heel tactics by the New. Obviously, they use it actually themselves and hit what's his name with it at the end.
Bubba, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they hit the Trouble in Paradise, and then they get the big win there. That was something.
Yeah, that was definitely a decent match though.
Yeah, but it was
Overall.
a lot better than Night of Champions, I thought.
Yeah, the Dudleys still they still have yet to hit that Dudley stride that we're all waiting for. Where Bubba's running around the ring yelling all types of crazy shit all over the place,
Yes.
and Devon's just being crazy in the corner.
I think they're going to turn heel, not for a while, but they're going to turn heel eventually.
Yeah, eventually. I think they definitely work best as a heel group too. The
Yeah.
Dudleys, but like a cool heel, not not like a classic heel.
Because I'm always going to still like the Dudleys, but that's just
Yeah,
me.
they're one of those groups that you can't have them come out there and go like, "What's up?" and people not reacting.
Yeah, and then get the tables and stuff like that. So.
The weird thing about this match, though, was the Dudleys had a pretty bad botch.
Oh yeah, man, I just forgot about that.
We were cringing when we saw that. That was
like
awful.
a woman's botch, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that
like
was
something like that was because Bubba didn't drop him right. Because Devon was trying his best to get it off, but
Bubba just held on to Kofi.
Yeah.
Just like, what's going on?
yeah, I was.
Yeah, Devon
really-
hit him with like a leg drop while he was upside down, and it must have been weird to be Kofi.
And nobody
there.
said anything either, which I guess they got to show respect to the Dudleys.
I
That
mean-
they don't make that many mistakes.
Yeah,
I mean,
and it happens.
It does
yeah,
happen. It happens to the
that's
best of
exactly-
everybody.
It happens. I mean, well,
It happens
you guys,
to Cesaro.
You guys forgot about it until I brought it up anyway. So
yeah, I did forget about that.
Yeah. Thankfully, it was like just a little dumb spot. That's what the WWE always harps home. Not harps because it's a legitimate message, but these performers are actually out here doing things that could kill them. You
Yes.
know, if you have a botch like that, but it's a botch.
These are
when-
trained professionals.
It's a botch when Seth Rollins is doing a Phoenix Splash off the top rope. If he botches just like they botched there,
Just like the
it might
Lesnar
be a
spot at
snapback.
WrestleMania 19.
Yeah.
But yeah, good match overall. I mean,
led into I was about to say another surprising match. This match wasn't surprising that it was good, the tag match, but I don't think people had as high expectations as it turned out, just because of their last match
Yes.
was so. But this next match, very very shocking.
yeah.
how good
Even
it
though we
was.
didn't give a crap at first,
Yeah.
but then we rewatched it again.
Yeah.
And that's Charlotte versus Nikki Bella for the Divas title. And this match was probably one of the best women's matches on the main roster in quite some time. I'm not saying it was one of the best ever, but
one
it
of
was
the better matches on the card. Too,
Yeah.
overall.
Oh yeah. It actually was.
Kills me to say that because I'll praise this match right now. It's a really good match, especially for main
Yeah, but
roster,
you could care about
especially
Nikki
main
Bella,
roster divas. But yeah, I'm so over Nikki Bella.
Yeah.
Like not even to the point where it's like I don't like her because she's a heel, or I'm rooting against her because I like her. Like I just don't like Nikki Bella. I don't like Brie Bella. I don't. It's not like a heel thing. I just don't like them. I don't want to see them on my TV screen. I think they're just bad for wrestling. I don't think they're anything good for divas. And if you want to talk about this whole Divas revolution, but then have them as the forefront of it,
it's not going to work.
Yeah, it's so counterproductive.
Because they're not as talented as the other ones.
I mean, and again, hats off Nikki.
Yeah.
Nikki has,
really
did a 180 as a wrestler. She's so much better now than she ever was. But that still doesn't take away the fact that, like, I just hate Nikki Bella. I don't want to say her. And I feel a lot of people share that similar.
She's coming from a time, too, where, when the both Bellas debuted, I mean, that was a time when Divas are really just kind of afterthoughts in the whole thing.
It's a dark. It's like the medieval times.
Yeah.
European history, just the dark ages.
I mean, it's not specifically them. It's just the time they came in.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Like, Divas Search was a thing where they,
Yeah, they did that for like 3 straight years.
Girls would just come in and just do these stupid challenges, and that's how you got selected.
Not
like
even real wrestlers. Like, hey,
models,
local whores, come on out.
Okay, then.
We need WWE wrestlers. Instead of getting talented women to join our roster, we're just going to get whoever looks the best in the bikini. And, not saying that the Bellas are zero talented as a wrestler. Well, originally they were. But they're a product of that, and that's why I don't support them as wrestlers in the WWE. I want to see more Becky Lynch.
More Sasha Banks, more Bayley, Charlotte, like Natalia, Naomi, etc.
But, I mean, hopefully Nikki losing here was her send-off from the title for a while.
For a long while.
Yeah,
but
hopefully get her away from it.
But that top rope, I just wanted to mention, that top rope spot was really weird. Like, we did not know what was going on there. Remember when Charlotte did, like, the backflip and then Nikki fell? I don't know if you remember that at all.
No, I fell asleep at the end of this match.
I forgot about that. You fell asleep for, like...
I went back and watched it, but, this... As I said, I can't stand Nikki, so like
it was a pretty good spot. And then she did the Alabama Slam on like the apron. I thought that was a pretty good spot too.
Yeah, I like her Alabama Slam a lot. I think that's way better than the Rack Attack.
Oh yeah, God yeah. But
if the Rack Attack wasn't like I don't know, just so pertinently named, I think she should fully switch to the Alabama Slam as.
Or she's got a really nice spine buster as well.
Yeah,
she's really improved with that as well.
Brie can stay doing her.
Brie can just
500 missile drop kicks.
Just leave and go hang out with Daniel Bryan now.
Isn't that weird how, like Nikki gets with John Cena, Brie gets with Daniel Bryan, and John Cena is, I'm sure most people would say as a pure wrestler, he's worse than Daniel Bryan.
Yes.
But, you figure the girl who gets with Daniel Bryan would be, some of his wrestling magic would rub off on her.
Yeah.
But she gets, like, drastically worse after she's with Bryan, and Nikki gets like drastically better after she's with Cena. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, it is funny.
I'm sure corporate would love that for their B+ player thing with Daniel Bryan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Might have just given the writer some material.
Yeah, he might have.
All right, so moving on to Seth Rollins versus. Oh, well, actually, first there was a backstage segment with Dean Ambrose, and.
The only appearance of Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, weird. They just left him off.
Yeah, because they just don't know how to use Ambrose.
Yeah, this we all thought he was actually going to turn heel here. Like, we thought he was going to just beat the shit out of Reigns here.
Well, he walks in and goes, "Hey, we need to talk about that thing." Room goes, "Oh, we'll talk about it tomorrow." And just, okay.
Oh yeah, let's go get a couple drinks
what's
or something.
That?
They said, yeah.
What was that thing you wanted to talk about, Dean? Heel turn material?
Yeah. I was just about to blast you with this fire extinguisher on the wall, but we'll save that for the next Raw instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all thought Dean Ambrose was gonna. I mean, like immediately. Remember immediately when this sounds like Dean Ambrose turning heel right here.
Yeah. And
he didn't, but it's coming.
It's gotta come.
I mean, just the slight tension that was in the room during that segment, like it's coming.
But is it tension that felt natural to be there, or was it, you guys just expecting it?
I feel like just the way that they were interacting.
It's that, and I'm expecting it.
Yeah, definitely a mixture of both, but. They were like, I don't know, they weren't like, fist bumping and hugging and shit. They're normal douchey the way.
I'll go ahead later, but like I think Ambrose is going to be a big integral part of that if that's at Survivor Series with Reigns and Rollins.
Well, I really think this is where we're going to start to see the build towards the Shield triple threat.
I hope so.
Yeah. Reigns and Rollins are supposedly, as of now, fighting from Raw. We know that, and Ambrose is left with nothing to do. He's going to be spiteful pretty soon. Be cool if they would like put him with Sheamus for something and got the briefcase off of him so we could have
that'd be pretty
triple
sweet.
threat that way. But there's a lot of things they could do.
Yeah,
just hope they use Ambrose in some capacity other than Roman Reigns as
that guy's money
cheerleader.
So. Yeah.
I mean, I have confidence in Ambrose. I mean, the guy's a pro. He knows what to do. It's just, I think about him like, he's going to turn heel, but I'm not sure if I want him to or not.
You're going to love him as a heel.
Probably.
If you're the biggest Ambrose fan, you're going to love him as a heel.
I love cheering for him as a face, but, I mean, with just the lack of top-end heels that they have right now, well, that's not, I mean, I think talent-wise, they have a lot of people who could be top heels. They just don't do shit with them.
Yes.
But Ambrose, I think, has every single thing you need for a top company heel. And I'm not talking about, like, top, mid-card. I'm talking, like, fighting John Cena, fighting Randy Orton, fighting all these top company guys.
He could be a top face, top tweener, or heel. Any of the three, honestly.
Yeah, if you doubt that, go watch pretty much anything that he's done as John Moxley.
Yeah, on YouTube, CCW, Dragon Gate, all that stuff.
You'll change your mind immediately.
Yep. For sure.
Saw him sing Sweet Caroline when he was kind of drunk.
He had a couple of drinks in there.
But yeah, his old Shield buddy gets the next match. And again, another just weird booking of this paper. Not booking, like match placement. Like,
placement of the match. Well, the crowd was dead for this because we all knew Seth was going to win.
Yeah, this is the World Heavyweight Champion. But yeah, that's booking and whatever's fault.
That was the way they booked the storyline.
Never should have been a match.
And nothing against him. Actually, wasn't a bad match.
Yeah.
It wasn't horrible.
Yeah, it was all right.
Typical match, but it felt like it shouldn't be for the world title.
It felt like a typical, like a Raw Cena match.
Yes.
Like, Cena comes out there. He's going to put on a decent match. He's not the greatest technical wrestler, but he knows all the spots and shit. So, but he's going to win. So it's like, every near fall for the other person.
Won't be as exciting.
Yeah, it's whatever. So whenever Kane hits a choke slam or uppercut or tombstone, whatever, you're not holding your breath, Yeah, like Seth's gonna kick out.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind Seth will kick out.
Especially with Kane gearing up to the obvious face turn, and then he loses his job with the Authority if he loses the match. Like, on paper, it was like, you might as well have just called this Seth wins, LOL. Like.
How about Kane when Rollins tried to powerbomb him through the table, and he just fell on the side.
Just done it off. I think that was like a perfect just
explanation of how the storyline's been
just
going.
The whole feud for these
downhill,
guys.
Downhill.
And what we saw with Bray Wyatt and Kane and Undertaker on the Fallout show for Raw, or the next show for Raw. I hope that means that Seth and Kane are, they're done. They're not revisiting that stupid little rivalry. Just let it go.
I think it's done.
Let it go the way of Goldust versus Cody and just dissipate.
Bray and Nikki.
Just let it go away.
Yep.
Dude, we need to get J&J back in here.
I am still pro J&J as a tag team. I would love that. Both of those dudes can wrestle. They're hilarious. Oh, it would be great.
Maybe just
I'm not talking about as, put J&J as a dominant tag team, but they would be fun to watch.
Maybe as like they were before. I'm cool with that.
That's what I mean. Like, not a big role, but every now and then, like,
just show up.
New Day comes out, like, you're all peasants or the tag team champs, and then J&J just comes out.
Come out to like a mega pop.
Yeah,
that'd be funny. That would be funny.
I think they would start getting like Sandow-esque pops when he was coming out with the Miz. Like, they're just so great.
Yeah.
Sandow and J&J.
Oh, yeah. Sandow's their manager.
Alright, so moving to Ryback versus Kevin Owens for the IC title. I mean...
Really surprised at the placement.
We felt pretty certain that Kevin Owens would retain.
Yep.
Yeah, another one where we were, it was pretty predetermined before the match.
Really quick match as well.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Disappointed.
Because at the end of the show there, like, we thought, okay, since they're making this match so quick, they have to be just clearing room for Taker and Lesnar. But Taker and Lesnar's match, like, Roman Reigns and Bray had the longest match of the night, right?
Yeah, they win like 20 plus.
Yeah, because I remember like towards the end of the pay-per-view, we looked at the time, we're like, there's still like 12-something minutes left on this
pay-per-view. It was 15 minutes.
Yeah, whatever it was. But like the Taker and Lesnar match was already like completely wrapped up.
Yes.
And we were like, what the hell are they doing with this time? Even the Bray thing that they did afterwards didn't take up all the time they needed.
Yep.
They definitely rushed the Owens Ryback match.
Yeah, for no point, honestly.
You could feel it too. It was pretty obvious.
And that's doing nothing to help these guys.
You got to try to build the title up a little bit.
It's not going to help get these guys over at all. And like we said earlier with the Reigns Ambrose segment backstage, like, it was kind of cool because we thought it might somewhat signify heel turn to Ambrose, but I'd much rather have Kevin Owens get more time in the ring than waste time to set up for that stupid little backstage segment.
Yeah, totally.
Just a lot of wasted times.
Yes. I mean, these guys, I had not high expectations, but I had really good expectations for this match.
High enough for any match with
like
Ryback.
a good 10 to 12 minute match.
Yeah,
nice back and forth. But I mean, it was pretty much like not a squash match, but close to it.
Yeah.
Did you guys see though? They put it on their YouTube channel as one of those, exclusive backstage interviews. It's just Owens lying on top of a container backstage with the belt, and what's the guy's name?
Rich Brennan.
Rich Brennan walks up and he goes, "Hey, can you talk about your title defense?" And he goes, Millhouse, so like what's the question? Just talk about there's Renee. Give Renee a mic. He's just completely screwing with the guy, and then you just hear Undertaker's music, and he goes, "Oh, Undertaker." He just sits up for a second and then lays back down. It's just
He's the man.
It's not a promo. It's not an interview or anything.
It's just him talking.
No, it's not even talking. It's
Did
just
himself.
him laying there just saying gibberish.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's
funny.
It's a funny video. I thought. I'll leave a link to that in the description, so you can watch later. Don't leave this podcast to go watch that. Unless you come back, that's cool too.
Yeah.
So
What do we got left?
We got the main
big
event.
Lesnar
Yes.
versus Taker. This was a thing.
Let me ask you a
It was
question.
all right.
Let me ask you a question beforehand. What match was better between the two recently? SummerSlam or this one?
This one.
I think this one had more going for it.
Yeah.
Well, let me
So-
better match quality. Or did you think this was better match quality or SummerSlam? I think SummerSlam was
actual
better.
match SummerSlam, but if you take into the account like the
But the finish, yeah.
yeah,
Hell in a Cell
the
is better.
finish ruined SummerSlam.
Yes.
But yeah,
Better match quality, I think, would be
better
SummerSlam.
match SummerSlam. Yeah, but overall, everything into account, Hell in a
As
Cell.
Cell, yes.
Yeah, I
Because it was
thought-
definitive finish.
I thought overall this one was more creative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Seeing Lesnar, take apart the ring. We've never seen anything like that before. The way that like
well, in the match, especially.
yeah, he exposes the wood underneath.
Yes.
And that's pretty cool. Our one friend Zach, who was on the podcast last week, he wasn't aware of how thin the mats actually
Yeah.
these guys land on. So that's kind of cool for people who don't know anything about wrestling
Yeah.
to watch it. These dudes are really just falling on wood essentially.
Yeah, like, there's, like,
that
a little-
padding's
yeah.
not doing anything for
Yes.
your back when you're coming off the top.
It
you're
is-
getting suplexed from 6 feet up onto that wood.
It is softer than the AstroTurf at the old vet. The vet was just concrete painted green.
Well, this was
Still
just
hurts like a
This
bitch.
still hurts.
brown painted wood, and I'm sure Lesnar and Taker
This still hurts,
not happy
but
with having to fall.
It's not
on
the
it.
vet.
Yeah. But overall, man, this match was awesome.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
so cool to see we don't see blood a lot anymore, so to see blood this heavily featured in a match again was awesome, especially with these two. If anyone was gonna have a blood match,
hated that the
Taker
doctor
was,
came
man.
out, though. That pissed me off.
I feel like in pay-per-view matches now that Lesnar's in, he makes it a point to bleed.
Yes.
Yeah,
I feel like he's been bleeding in every match.
That's what,
mostly every match this past year.
He bled
Like-
at WrestleMania.
14 going into 15.
well, people have been complaining about that online too. Like people are like, oh, Lesnar's bleeding again. Like, who cares?
But that
Like,
makes it more realistic.
Yeah, go the hell home, Cyber Sherlock Holmes. Like, who gives a shit, dude? Dude's out here putting on a great match. Okay, he bleeds.
You don't have to bleed all the
cares?
time, but
Yeah.
when it actually does happen, it's more realistic, and it means it's more big of a deal.
Yeah, like if 6'9" Undertaker slams Lesnar into a pole in the top of his head and he doesn't split open, I'm gonna have more questions than if he does.
Yes, exactly.
So
Vice versa.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a welcome sight for me. Especially growing up as an Attitude Era fan, the more blood the better
Yeah.
for me.
How about that vicious choke slam on Taker for Lesnar on the wooden floor?
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, that had to not feel good for Brock.
Yeah,
But
I'm
even then,
surprised.
the F5 that followed.
Yeah, that was
Oh
great,
yeah,
too.
that was really good. Man,
Yeah,
that was,
the only
that was brutal.
The one drawback with the wood
Was the tombstone.
again, yeah, it's the camera angles. They gotta watch what camera they use for that shit.
Yes,
It was very clear that his head did not hit the mat.
or
It
just
was
not
like
even
the-
anywhere.
It was
in his
like
body.
their WrestleMania match. Remember, he had that really bad
But
botched
he didn't-
tombstone.
It was still good tombstone,
Taker
but he just
didn't
didn't hit
even do
him.
it over the exposed wood. He did it right where
Yup.
the mat was still placed. So
But
it was
again,
a bad angle, but
I-
nothing
that's
nothing
something-
that they did.
that's
Yep.
something I could even see before he went out there. Some producer or Vince McMahon himself or whatever saying how nervous they are with pile drivers ever since Austin. So.
And
Watch this. Don't do it actually over the wood.
Yeah.
Taker, be safe.
Yeah, be safe, Taker.
Since Kane and him are the only ones to do it, I wouldn't be even more surprised to see if they added further restrictions.
Yeah, and the thing that we did get with this one, we did get a clean finish.
Yeah.
Really good one, too.
Lesnar did win.
Lesnar did win, 3 F5s, and he got the clean win.
Yeah, it was really good afterwards seeing Taker and him, like when Taker looks up after he lost, and the announcers did a good job of capturing that moment of really saying, Lesnar is now just on another level of a beast. Like, as untouchable as he was coming into this, how he's just been decimating people, they made a really good point. I don't remember if it was JBL or Cole. They were saying, Lesnar was unstoppable before this, and now he just took all the skills of one of the best legends of all time and added that to his arsenal as well. Essentially saying he defeated Taker, so he gets everything that Taker was. I mean, talk about a way to put someone over.
Right.
You just, saying you just gained essentially the skill set of Undertaker. That is no slouch of an accomplishment.
Yeah. I just like to add one thing from the Taker-Lesnar match. Tradition at the Herman household, whenever Taker has a match, the lights go off.
Oh, yeah. If Taker's music hits, it's blackness in whatever room we're in.
To show tribute to my favorite wrestler of all time.
And speaking of tribute,
good job by the fans.
Another good job by them. I think WWE here on trying to really play this up like it was Taker's almost retirement. Because like I said, the way he stood up at the end and kind of acknowledged Lesnar was the better man.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, well, we're going to tribute Undertaker at Survivor Series. Like, oh, shit, he's on his way out. The fans are cheering for him, giving him a standing ovation.
Saying thank you, Taker.
And then the Wyatts come out.
Yeah. Well, I was not expecting that, honestly.
Well,
awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They're resparking that feud between Bray and Undertaker, and if last time wasn't a passing of the torch, this time definitely has to be, because Bray Wyatt cannot afford to lose anymore.
Yeah.
And this time it does seem like he has the
I have a horrible
now.
feeling they're going to lose.
I was just about to say, I said the same thing going into WrestleMania, though, and how you said, a resparking of a feud, if you can even barely call that before.
Taker just lost,
a feud.
which means
Bray Wyatt fought with himself on the mic for a month, and then Taker came out and beat him at Mania.
That's true.
So, as you just said,
makes
there's
total
no
sense.
way Lesnar or Wyatt can afford a loss here. I agree with you wholeheartedly. If I'm booking,
So do I.
Wyatt doesn't lose here. You use Taker to put him over. But again, we have to look into the mind of these idiots over here. Oh, Wyatt looked strong once because he beat up Taker, so he can job out until WrestleMania now. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me either, honestly.
But here's the thing. Last time, there wasn't a Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
He, when Kane came out on Raw the next night, with all that, the fallout from that, Braun Strowman definitely made his presence felt.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
But, this, anyway, get back to Hell in a Cell. This is the way to use Bray Wyatt. We already just jumped to the negativity there. But giving them the benefit of the doubt, they do the right thing with Wyatt here and actually use, quote unquote, Taker's soul or whatever the hell he was talking about.
Yeah.
That reminds me so much of the old Ministry of Darkness days.
Oh,
Taker.
yeah, especially when they carried him out at the end.
Crucifix,
Yes.
how they did with Austin
Yeah,
and everything.
that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool ending.
This is how you use Bray
and
Wyatt.
it made you want to watch Raw the next night to see what was going to happen. And that's what the pay-per-views been kind of doing. And then I always been impressed with the pay-per-views this year. Honestly, the Raws have just been for the most part.
This is definitely a step in the right direction for it. Do you want to just get right into the Raw now that we're talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go for it.
From a really good B-level pay-per-view Hell in the Cell they followed up with a pretty good Raw, especially with the shit that they've been shoveling us for these past couple of weeks. This was a good Raw.
Yeah, very, very pro
Tight,
wrestling.
Focused. This is what happens when you have a competent story to work with here,
And a tournament for the number one contender all in one night, that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good idea.
My favorite thing about that number one contender thing is they didn't just take a bunch of random contenders and put them in the spots. You had to earn your way to even earn a shot to be a contender.
Yes.
They took the winners from the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view and they pitted them against each other. Right off the gate, that Raw was important.
Yeah.
We were like, this is cool.
Yeah.
And
these are all dudes who are being booked well in the company, and they got to go against each other. Who's going to be the top dog?
Yes.
And
Reigns was obvious, but...
And like you said, wins actually mattered.
Yeah.
It's not okay, story stuff happens from the night before, but whether you won the match or not doesn't matter. No, if you won, this matters. You're fighting to be a number one contender now, and
for the World Heavyweight title.
It's refreshing too, seeing Seth Rollins come off fights against Sting and Kane in a row, who weren't really contenders. They were just here's a match against the champion. You didn't do anything to earn this. So seeing Reigns have to go through the the just brutal tournament was pretty good. I mean, he only fought in 2 matches, but I mean, that Kofi match was something special for a one-on-one match, especially with Kofi this late in his career.
Well, and Kofi just puts on excellent matches all the time.
He was selling for him like it was nobody's business. Yes. He came out, what was it, like, I guess 2 hours because it was the beginning of the show to the end, and he's like still selling the injuries from the spear and whatnot. It was just awesome. Yeah,
Reigns and Kingston, really good match.
Yeah, and all the other matches were great too. Yeah, that wasn't the only one.
Oh yeah, there's so many good matches this night.
Well, on top of that, you got Owens versus Cesaro.
Oh my god, yeah.
That we keep bitching on here like they got to do something with Cesaro, blah blah blah. He lost there, but they did it right, dude. Because Owens is supposed to be the heel, and when Cesaro didn't win that match, I was like just heartbroken. But that's the way you're supposed to.
I actually felt bad for Cesaro. This is coming from a big, huge Owens fan. I'm like, oh wait, Owens won, but I want Cesaro to win too.
Yeah, that's good job on them again booking. That's what I want to feel,
Yes.
If Cesaro's going to lose, do it right. Do it like that. Do it where the heel Kevin Owens is going to come out despised because he was the dragon that slayed the crowd favorite night,
Yeah, or do it with a young guy, not like Big Show as well.
Yeah, don't have a Big Show Kane and Triple H and
Mark Henry and yada yada yada.
Yeah, Neville versus Del Rio too. I thought that was an interesting combination.
It was very interesting because that's like Del Rio. He's worked with a lot of these guys recently, and like he never worked with Neville. I'm like, oh, this is really interesting to put this match on there.
That's actually something cool that you just brought up. I don't remember where the hell I was reading. It was probably Bleacher Report. It was referring to how different the landscape is. As shortly as Del Rio's been out, it's like, look at how different everything is. It's like the New Day era thing. Yeah. They weren't around when he was...
Kevin Owens.
The Dudley Boyz are back. Kevin Owens is on the main roster. Neville is on the main roster. The Divas Revolution happened. AJ Lee's gone. Yeah. Like, just all this crazy shit that was around
Daniel
last
Bryan's
time
he was
here. Yeah, all this stuff that was... Sting is in the WWE.
Yes, yeah, that's another good...
Well,
lot of shit.
I think part of that is the show never stops either. You're watching...
Like I said that before.
You're watching it week to week, and you kind of lose track of time. Like, what happened 2 years ago feels like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean...
It's all
like what CM Punk said the one time.
Yeah, I mean, not to get too far off topic, but, like, the stuff that happened, like, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I still feel like it just happened.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, I feel like that Taker Triple H match from 28 was, like, yesterday, but it was, like, 4 years ago.
Oh, phenomenal, man.
Oh, phenomenal. Phenomenal.
And, like, we complain. We're always going to complain about WWE and the moves they make. That's inevitable.
That's wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, you know that.
It is a lot better than it was, like
since 2010, 2009.
When Mike the Miz was leading the show, it was, again, dark times.
Yeah.
Dark times.
I feel bad to say that against The Miz because I really do appreciate The Miz.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, I said leading the show.
Well, yes.
Miz is a great, one of the best you can ask for a mid-card heel, especially. Like, I see, like, so much of, like, an improved honky-tonk man in The Miz where, like, he is so good at getting you to hate him.
Yes.
Like, we're talking, like, good things about him, but when Miz is on the screen, I despise that little bastard. Like, I just want to, like, squish him like he's, like, just some little runt. Like,
when my hand goes up, you shut up.
Yeah, my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
Yeah, your mouth goes shut, yeah.
Yeah, The Miz is awesome, so I don't want to take any credit away from him as an overall performer, but as the top of the card, 2010 was bad.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's so bad.
Also in the tournament, Biggie versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, two former companions of each other.
Combination.
They didn't. I didn't like how they didn't really reference their history though with that. Like,
oh, what do you expect?
But I'm just saying, like, it's like one of the problems with commentary. Like, they're very like I was giving them praise for the whole Lesnar Taker thing, but then they have an obvious opportunity where you go back to the Biggie Intercontinental run and then AJ Lee and Ziggler. They just didn't do anything for that.
Nothing.
They should have at least mentioned.
They should have mentioned it or something, or like had Big E come out like for a promo, like when he walks down and say something.
Yeah,
but
like,
they didn't.
I used to be your lackey. Now I'm the champ.
Yeah,
or, whatever.
That would have been interesting for
Still
sure.
Still a good match though.
Yeah, another good match. I mean, Ziggler, Beast, Big E, Beast.
Well, I mean, look at the talent of the names in these: Cesaro, Kevin Owens,
Neville,
Roman Reigns, Neville,
Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, Kofi Kingston,
just a
Dolph
bunch
Ziggler.
Just a bunch of good workers.
This whole tournament really catered to the diehards.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
just A-list wrestlers all around.
Yep.
And again, it was good that it wasn't just because they were fan favorites. It was because they earned their way into that tournament.
Yeah,
their Hell in a Cell.
You gotta like if you're a real wrestling fan, true wrestling fan.
With the death of kayfabe in wrestling, I mean, it's not completely dead, but I mean, it's pretty much out the window. I really would love to see them go more towards an overall sports approach to wrestling where, you have to actually contend. It's not because you have a storyline with this dude that you're automatically his rival. They should work
I agree with that.
You've been having a good win-loss. Well, you're fighting for the belt now,
Yeah.
It shouldn't just be storylines.
But Vince doesn't think that way though, I think.
Yeah, well, he won't be around forever. So I don't mean as a death or anything.
No,
I just mean
I know.
He's not always going to be running the show.
Yeah, because eventually someday Triple H and Stephanie will take over, or Shane McMahon or something,
Let's go Shane McMahon. You leave your Japanese power plant or whatever the hell you're doing right now.
You're welcome for bringing that up.
Money.
You get back to wrestling for me.
Yeah, but just the Fatal 4-Way too. I thought that was really good. I mean,
my God.
Everything you want from a Fatal 4-Way.
Awesome. Fatal 4-Ways are always awesome.
And I mean, with Roman Reigns.
Like he does on the microphone, by the way.
Yeah. with Reigns, winning to be the number one contender again. I mean, Steve, you've never been the biggest Roman Reigns fan.
Yes.
But now, this time around, I'm not mad about it.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'm not mad about it. And I actually, when Kevin Owens put him in that pop-up powerbomb and he came
that was a great
Superman
counter.
punch,
I will give him that.
That was an awesome counter.
I still cringe though, but that's just me.
Yeah, me and Steve were talking about this right before we went on air here. Steve is already pretty fully embracing the Reigns hate again.
Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, we were talking about.
I give him credit though.
We were talking about on the show before, what they've done with Reigns since his career almost ended at WrestleMania was great, and I'm still on the high from that ride where I think he's been doing a pretty good job. But these past couple weeks, you've been seeing them fiddle with him again. They're giving him things to come out here and give him these long, dumb speeches to read. And the more they do that, the more people are going to sour on him. I'm already starting to sour on him a little bit. I can see in the future that if they keep up these things where he's going to be dominating the promos, I'm just going to turn on him. I know it's going to happen, but for now, I'm still on board with
My
him.
argument is that you make him himself, not like a Cena-esque guy. You know what I mean?
So do you like what they did with him tonight, though, then? Were you on board with that? He came out for the opener, dropped his line, believe that, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's short and sweet.
I respect the hell out of Reigns. I think he's a hell of a competitor. I just don't see him. I mean, obviously they think the other way. I just don't see him as the top guy. I think there's so many other better guys you can pick instead of him.
That goes to...
And he deserves to be champion. Don't get me wrong. I totally agree. I just don't want him to be the face.
I completely agree. The face of the company, is that what you're talking about?
The face
Hogan,
of the company.
The John Cena, the Austin, yeah.
That pisses me off.
He has that. I mean, and again, he's so young in his career.
I understand that.
You look at Rocky Maivia and you're like, all right, this asshole's never going to be anything. But he evolved into Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
One of the best ever.
But I agree with you. Right now, Reigns, when he's out there, he has as confident as he is in his wrestling performances, he's almost just under the surface like a deer in the headlights. He's just a little scared. He doesn't seem like that superhero kind of guy that needs to be the face of your company, this larger than life, edge personality, Randy Orton, Cena, these just bigger than life dudes. He still feels like he's jogging and running in pace a little bit. He's yet to hit that next level of superstardom. And I don't think that's anything that they can do with booking. And I think that's in the modern WWE, they think they can do that.
Yeah.
I
just feel like he needs to be himself. That's all.
It needs. Well, that's the base point of what I'm saying. It needs to be something that he does.
Yes, not something from the past.
It's just going to take him further away from that road if they keep giving him long scripted promos.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, I'm fine with him now. I know you're already souring on him a bit, and I can feel myself getting that way. But as of now, if I look back to what they've done since Mania, it's exactly what I said that I'd want them to do. I said, if you want to put Roman Reigns in the World Heavyweight Championship spot and me and people like me to be on board with it, have him do small feuds. Maybe have him fight for, a mid-card belt first, or, just put him over in feuds. They did that with Bray Wyatt,
yes.
So, I'm okay with it for now.
Yeah.
I don't want him winning the Royal Rumble again.
Oh, I will shit on that so much.
I would not be mad to see him, in a bigger role at Mania.
He's going to be in a big role, obviously.
I also don't want him to be the sole, him versus one other person in the main event again in a one-on-one.
You can't have that. They'll shit on it again.
Yeah, but I'd take him in a co-main event spot, or I'd take him in a triple threat spot.
Yes.
Hint, shield for the main event of WrestleMania.
Well, I think we'd all love that, honestly. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, the other reason I'm not mad about Roman Reigns anymore too is, yeah, he did get better, but also, him getting pushed leads to that ultimate payoff of a Shield triple threat. So
Yep. Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing I'm hoping for, honestly.
Yeah, and we always bitch and moan on here, like, you got to push young talent, you got to push young talent.
And they are pushing Reigns,
Yeah.
and he's young, so.
Reigns is young talent. We can't get everything that we want. As much as I would prefer it to be
Yes.
a Dean Ambrose or Cesaro or Rusev or someone in his position.
Dolph Ziggler.
I'm not mad.
Yada.
I put it this way: I'd rather it be Roman Reigns than Big Show, Kane, John Cena, or someone like that again.
Sheamus, Randy Orton.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that, and I'm not against. Like I said, I'm not against him winning the title. I just feel shouldn't be the face.
Yeah.
yeah. Also from this Raw, Dudley Boyz and Ryback in the tag match with the half of the pre-show match from the night before.
Just a typical 6-man tag.
Yeah.
and
Nothing much to say about it.
Team PCB and Team Bella again, and Paige doing heel things.
Like we said before, just typical 6 diva tag shit. They love
So
to
is
do
Paige
all the time.
finally?
She finally turned heel.
officially, away from them.
Yeah,
because
she fucking
each
better.
week, she does something scummy to them, and then they're like, "Oh well, we're baby faces, so we're very."
I'm so sorry,
We're very
Charlotte.
gullible.
Naive and shit like
If
that.
you're a face in the WWE, you lose 20 points in your intelligence rating. But yeah, I think she's finally done with them. She has to be.
Yeah. I don't know. You'd be surprised with the way they've been booking this crap, dude.
And I hope to see them continue the Renee Young Paige feud.
Oh, that'd be
that was simmering.
lingerie pillow fight, please.
Bring us back the old
Just one night.
the mud matches or whatever. The hell
Mud
those
wrestling
things are.
matches
Yeah.
or pudding matches, whatever.
Just one night, guys.
Just one night.
You want the ratings to go back up?
That's the way to go
Call
up.
the Smark Show. I think we got an idea for you.
Yeah, give us a call.
It involves a lot of mud and not a lot of clothing.
Hell yeah.
God damn it, guys. All right. We also got Bray Wyatt
That was a
cutting a
really
promo.
interesting
Yeah.
segment.
explaining himself.
I
Yeah.
think that's a good way to close out the wrestling portion, really, of the show. Bray Wyatt comes out.
Yeah.
Talking about
Didn't
how
close out the show, but we'll use this to close
Yeah,
out the
for
conversation.
us.
Raw.
He comes out and he's talking about how he's essentially harvesting Taker's soul
Yes.
for power and whatever, and it's corny again. But you look back at almost everything Taker's worked with over his career, very corny.
But I
you
like-
look at the character, not corny at all. When you put into perspective of Bray Wyatt, and
I like how they're doing. They're bringing the feud back. Like you don't see that too often, especially when Taker returned to Battleground. You don't see that too often. with those
WWE
kind of
has like a
feuds.
2-month amnesia.
Exactly. Exactly, and I like that they're bringing it back.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll see an actual feud where Taker contributes to it this time.
Yes.
But you had Kane step in and get involved too.
And this is the
So-
perfect way to use Kane, and I will not shit on this at all.
Yes.
So
If you're gonna use Kane, here you go.
this is exactly how you
Well,
use him.
the thing about the two is, story-wise, I felt like the WWE hasn't acknowledged that they're brothers forever, really.
Yeah, the last time they really did anything was when
Raw
Seth
1000.
Rollins.
Oh,
well,
sorry.
no. Well, recently Seth Rollins was kind of making
Oh, yeah.
remarks towards the Undertaker, and Kane would flip out, "Don't talk about my family." Not a really big storyline, but they noted it. at
Yeah,
least.
right.
But
No,
that-
but actually getting involved in
as an
each other's
intricate
angle.
part, yes, yeah, they haven't done that since Raw 1000. Yeah. So yeah, definitely a cool way to see Kane.
Yeah, and then all the Wyatts came in and they just started beating him down.
This makes Bray look like that. That's the dangerous cult leader. The simple
Yes.
booking that you need for Bray Wyatt is, take someone and feed them to him.
Yep.
Literally all you need to do.
Yeah.
Put a group around them and feed people to him, and that's a star right there.
Definitely.
Let him do whatever else he wants. Don't give him any guidance. Just let that dude go out there and talk and
the man
sacrifice
can
wrestlers to him.
Yes.
We were talking about this, our little prediction for this. I mean, this seems pretty clear that they'd be setting up for a Survivor Series match.
Yeah, 4-on-4.
Who's the other two?
Oh, I mean,
Assuming
got a
it's
while
gonna be,
away,
assuming
but-
it's going to be 4 Wyatts. Who's going to be with Taker and Kane?
this would be.
This is disclaimer, complete guesses. We have no validity in any of this because
I
we've
don't
seen
know.
one Raw. So
Sting, maybe?
I think Sting. I think
I-
Sting's too hurt.
I would pick Sting.
Probably.
I think-
the injury thing, just makes it nothing more than a pipe dream to me right now.
Right. But this wouldn't make sense for him right now. But since it's his 25th anniversary, this would be the perfect way to Undertaker to introduce a new talent, and that would be Finn Balor.
Yeah, that would be
Demons.
awesome.
Oh yeah, that'd be
But
cool.
I
That'd be
highly,
cool.
doubt it will happen because that's just my wish because that's my other favorite superstar right now. But that would be the perfect way because that's when Undertaker debuted in 1990.
Yeah.
That'd be a really ironic way and really
interesting. Got the Demon Kane in the match, too. You can pass on the Demon kind of thing.
I think it's plausible. I think it can work.
Another one, couple other
this
names.
This is like you have to watch. You have to see how NXT goes.
Exactly.
But then again, this might be a thing that they just completely pull out of the blue.
Yeah, which they've done before with Del Rio.
Surprise you because they do have tapings for NXT, which they don't really. Well, they do for SmackDown, but it's a lot more
in depth. But the other two guys I was going to say as well, probably Ambrose.
Yeah.
And maybe
Daniel Bryan.
Maybe finally Daniel freaking Bryan.
Especially, I mean, if you listen to Daniel Bryan's mouth, he's ready to go now, but he can't get the clearance from the WWE
Which is
doctors.
Absolute bullshit.
But, I mean, again, we were just talking about Del Rio backstage apparently arguing with WWE about his return, and here he is the next night. So who knows?
Whoever
whole
knows.
Daniel Bryan thing could be a complete
never
fluke.
Say never.
He could be ready to go tomorrow night for all we know.
Never say never.
Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'll say never.
Never.
Yeah.
Nah, if it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's
Stone Cold's
nothing happened.
I'm
getting.
Don't
R.I.P. to Stone Cold's wrestling career.
I love you.
Great little run there, buddy.
Amazing podcast.
Yeah, keep up with the podcast.
Keep up the podcast.
Keep running the ranch.
Hell yeah.
Just don't go on the ranch.
Keep drinking some beers and stunners.
I don't
want to
see you
happy.
like paralyzed or anything.
Hell no.
You put in your work in the early 2000s.
Yes.
Or The Rock comes back out.
Yeah, there's so much. Jericho is lingering around, still not really doing anything.
Yeah.
There's just a bunch of stuff they could do.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys, and that's really interesting.
So it's one of the funnest parts about Survivor Series.
And this card actually looks a little. I mean, we don't know any of the matches yet, but it looks kind of promising so far, with Taker potentially being in, and then the world title match.
I think it might be Hulk Hogan actually. Now that I think about it.
Yeah,
gearing up.
No. Nope.
I don't know if they offer him that contract again.
I got one.
Could be getting some big money.
Chris Benoit?
Yeah. Speaking of Hogan.
I think that's another never.
Yes.
Speaking of Hogan, though, his contract with WCW they signed in 1998 got leaked this week.
Absolutely atrocious.
It's ridiculous. Like, if I was in his position, I would have signed that contract, like, no question. Because it is... I got the details, like, right here. I'll read them off. It was a 4-year deal that ran through 2002. Obviously, WCW didn't exist by that
98 to 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah. $2 million signing bonus. So he gets $2 million from the get-go. Only had to work 6 pay-per-views through the first 3 years of that deal.
That's not
and
fair.
he was the main event for all of them.
Brock
given the contract.
Lesnar's probably even jealous of that contract.
Yeah, that's a lot better than Lesnar.
I'm not done. He got $675,000 or 15% of the domestic sales, whichever one was worth more.
For the pay-per-view?
For each pay-per-view.
Okay.
My God.
He could also get $1.75 million per show if they had a buy rate of 3.5 or greater.
That's crazy.
And he got a $1.35 million bonus on the 1st of July, November, and February through the first 3 years of that deal. Wait, no, there's more. Nitro and Thunder shows, he would get 25% of the gross revenue that they would make.
Well, Hulk Hogan.
And it went for house shows too. And he would have a mandatory 16 tapings through the first 3 years. Like, this guy got money for, like, not easy stuff, but, like, in context of that business, like,
easy
nothing
stuff.
too challenging.
Yeah. Hulk Hogan's wife got majority of it, though. So.
Yeah. Glad you earned that, whoever Hulk Hogan's wife is.
The thing is, by that point, like, by the time you get to year 4 in merchandising, like, that's just icing on the cake.
Yeah, especially knowing that, he ran with NWO, too. So it's like...
He was leader of NWO.
Arguably the best stable of all time.
Yeah. Not fair.
Got paid.
Yeah.
Oh, we got paid big time.
Got paid and creative control. That was a thing, too.
Yeah,
that's not in the contract, but that
yeah,
was
and then the
thing.
company collapses and they still have to pay him because WCW is dumb and made guaranteed contracts.
No, that finger poke of doom did wonders.
Oh, yes, it did.
Getting into the other headlines, Rusev is hurt. He got hurt at a SmackDown taping.
Yep.
Torn bicep, gone for a month.
Yeah, another bad injury to Rusev.
I think this is a work, so him and Lana can just hang out for a month and be engaged.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, but this is coming out of a match against Neville and Phoenix, and they actually had to stop the match.
Yeah.
So
Rusev was pissed, apparently, after the match. Like, he was chasing the trainers and stuff or something.
There's old.
Like he was actually really mad. I'm being dead serious.
Realistically, it's a scary sight seeing someone like Rusev chase you, but like in my head, I just imagine like just like cartoon Russian, just like real angry, just like hobbling, like just,
Cartoon Russian guys,
just chasing like with a big mallet, just chasing these guys around.
I'm going to get you, even with my torn bicep.
I can imagine he's pissed
Bicep
off,
is
though.
your arm.
Yeah, I said that. I said torn bicep.
Yeah, running.
I know,
around
but
though,
running
that would
around like
hinder
he
him.
can run. It's just his arm.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't making fun of him.
But I mean,
Kinda
I can
worth.
imagine that he would be mad at this though. You know, just coming off the other injury and then having to work that crap that was the Ziggler, Summer Rae, whatever triangle.
But also, he had that broken foot back in May.
That's what I'm saying. Just coming off an injury, then going right back out again.
Well, he's the next
a
Vladimir
lot of
Kozlov.
ups
There
and
you
downs
go.
this year. A lot of ups and downs for him this year.
Yeah.
There's always that
Deep
element.
pushed.
You brought up his engagement to Lana, and there's always that element of like, well, maybe something's at work, but against my better judgment says that it's an actual injury.
Not if they stopped at mid match. If it was a work, they would have said he hurt himself training or something like that. They wouldn't have done it in the middle of a match.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's probably a real injury.
Yeah, so he'll be getting deep pushed.
Yeah, he'll get the Ziggler treatment now.
Oh no, he's getting Vladimir Kozlov.
Oh no, I'm sure he'll be off for all the recovery time and then come back.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
he'll be back.
who knows what he's
Comes
gonna have.
back in the tank.
That would be
with the
really cool
tank.
if they. I mean, just the depth of the roster right now. They won't do it just because they have Cena and Orton and those guys out. But if they kept him out until the Rumble and had him come back at the Rumble, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting.
Because I mean, as we saw at this pre-show match, they have all these heels and faces just jammed into tag matches. Like clearly, they don't have a spot for Rusev, so hold him off until you can give him a
nice
cool
little spotlight.
push.
Yeah,
He was second in the Rumble last year, so you can play
Yeah.
up on that.
That's a good point.
I was this close to fighting Lesnar last year. Comes
Yeah.
back. I lost all these feuds.
gets
since
a
I
lot
was-
of eliminations when he comes in, and that's
Yeah.
a good way to build him up.
I was undefeated going into Fastlane last year or WrestleMania.
Maybe, yes.
Cena ruined it. Then I lost a bunch of matches. So like you could have him come back just this spiteful,
More motivated.
vengeful.
That's a good way to do it,
Yeah.
but they won't do
I don't
that.
have Lana in my way anymore. Like I'm just gonna come back and destroy people. They
Yeah.
won't though.
They won't do that.
He'll be
though.
dancing. He'll be a breakdancing dinosaur.
Yeah, with Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Also on the list, right now, Del Rio's salary seems to be just shy of $1.5 million.
Yep.
This is per Meltzer.
What a
with
broke
Wrestling
boy.
Observer.
I get $2 million from the Smark Show producers every
get-
episode.
You get nothing.
You guys don't get paid for this?
No. You lucky bastard.
John in production gives me like $2 million an episode.
There is no John in production.
What's up, John?
That's why you guys don't get paid, because you don't know John in production.
I get paid in donuts, okay?
Yeah. All right,
if we-
Zach.
if we had production guy this entire time, then what am I doing? Like, putting the episode to get, like, setting up to, whatever.
Hey, Michael Cole has a boss too. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I hate you guys.
Yes!
The depression
Yes!
that washes over your face whenever Michael Cole's name is brought up.
Vintage Cole.
Yeah, we might have to start doing a video podcast just so you guys can see Nick just collapse into
Oh, yeah.
depression.
If you hear Michael Cole or some horrible line we say or something.
All right, last on the list of headlines. I didn't really go all out for this one. Just wanted to touch on the big ones. Ryback told Vince McMahon that he can replace Cena, and he said this on Stone Cold's podcast.
Feed me, jobbers.
I have the whole excerpt right here from Wrestling News Source. Thanks for putting that up. So, I told Vince this. I'm here for the long haul. Like, I want to be my absolute best, and my best is going to end up pretty damn good. At the end of this, but the key to that is staying healthy and longevity here. I am botching reading this right now. People are going to take themselves out, people get injured, and opportunities open up. And I've said from day one, I've told Vince this to his face. I am the guy that can replace John Cena, and I'm not John Cena, I'm Ryback. But I'm the guy that can do that, and I can sell tickets, but I need to be healthy, and I need to be here every day for that to happen. Guys, what are your thoughts?
Feed me, Cena.
I was just thinking, not an actual thought on what he really said, But like if it just like took like a turn, like when he's like, I told Vince to his face, I fucking hate you, you're a bitch. Like, you know, like he just starts
You
like
go rot in hell, you son of a bitch.
in real life, I will meat hook the shit out of you, pussy. Like
I will shell shock you into hell.
But yeah,
We probably wouldn't see Ryback on TV anymore.
Oh yeah, it'd be in TNA the next night.
realistically though, you know, I like Ryback. He's no Cena. Cena has that it factor that a Rock has, that a Stone Cold has, where he can just come out and just
Ryback
like
is a
ignite.
beefcake.
He can just ignite a crowd. Ryback is proven. Like you remember when he came back from like that crap run with Curtis Axel.
Yeah, Ryback.
Remember he came out and the crowd just went nuts for him.
Yeah, because he brought back his old gimmick. Thank God.
He cut that awesome promo with Renee
Yeah.
Young, like talking about how he needed this from the fans
And like the injuries he went through.
So like, he can definitely talk. Like people write Ryback off because he's a big meathead muscle dude that
Still
he can't
relatively
talk.
young as well.
That dude can talk. And you know, as much crap as he gets, he can wrestle too for a big dude. He's not Sami Zayn. He's not going to hit tornado DDTs through the turnbuckle ropes, but he's going to go out there and put out a decent match if you give him time.
He's improved his moveset as well.
Yeah, and he's got a fun, I always call it the power-up offense in WWE. Every big star has one.
Yes.
His is pretty fun, He
it is.
He hits the
meat hook.
The meat hook. He runs
spine-
off
he's
the
got the
ropes,
spine buster.
busters. Yeah, so
He's got that splash from the top and from the jumping from the ring too.
he's got the tools that a top star needs, but I just think he lacks that it factor to be John Cena. There's only been 3 or 4 John Cenas in WWE history, so I don't think that's taking away much from me saying Ryback's no John Cena, but I'm certainly not saying he's no top
I
guy.
mean, he could have run as champion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking away that he can't be a top guy, but he can't be John Cena. Randy Orton can't be John Cena.
I could see him being like a placement champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like a Sheik, someone like that from back in the day.
Yes.
Like someone who's very notable if they get the right push, but they were never going to be the dude that you hang your company logo around his neck.
Exactly.
And, go to work.
Yep.
Just the way you were saying with Roman Reigns. He's good. He just doesn't have that it.
No. Yep.
Not everybody has it.
Nobody. Yeah. You're right.
Except for us at the Smark Show. We have it.
You're damn right we do.
And you guys can follow that it.
And you can
That's
not
Smark
believe that.
You can subscribe to that it. Nick, at the Smark Show.
At the Smart Show. On the
And-
YouTubes.
Yeah, on the YouTubes.
Just one more thing. I mean, how about our last episode with the YouTube views?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we appreciate that.
Our last
we
Raw.
have no idea what happened,
Our
but
last Raw episode.
holy crap.
Yeah, we got,
Over 1,800 views.
yeah.
Actually, how much did
It went
Yeah,
up to it
have
went
right
past
now.
1,800. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's pretty
the
sweet.
exact number right now.
We're used
know
to
what?
getting around like 300, 200, 400, something like
Yeah,
that.
our highest one before that was like 400, and it
Yeah.
took us a while to get to there.
So
yeah.
to see 1,800, we don't know what we did for that last
Yeah,
episode.
I mean,
but
I think it was Tyler Breeze. I think it was the
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze
that,
thumbnail.
You think it was-
that gorgeous face.
Either that
everyone
or-
had to click.
Hey,
special
speaking of
case.
that too, Dolph Ziggler's match against Big E, we never brought this up, but Tyler Breeze was ringside.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Ugo
And-
section.
Great,
And,
great.
oh, that was great. But also when he went to lie on the announce table and take the selfie, like you saw Michael Cole just kind of lean over and grab something, and I'm like, what's Cole doing? And then I realized, oh, Breeze knocked over to Coco on his desk.
Yeah, that was
He,
funny.
He does the WWE video game just came out. I bought it. It was pretty good. But in the beginning of Tyler Breeze matches, he at the beginning of the match, he's laying on the ropes with his feet up on the top ropes like he does in real life.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Oh, that's
all that
awesome.
Real life stuff. But yeah. So let's try and do this close again.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank the fans that
Alright.
checked it out.
Awesome. Thanks for the views, guys.
Much appreciated. New subscribers too.
Yeah, a couple more.
All right. So this has been episode number 14 of the Smart Show.
Wow, that's a lot.
14 in. You can listen to us on YouTube. I do want to make an announcement about the SoundCloud. I thought about it. We're not going to do that anymore, just because.
You a bitch, SoundCloud. We don't need you.
No, SoundCloud, you're cool. Cat,
I agree.
cool down. Steve, shut up.
Sorry, guys. I'm hot right now.
No, you shut up.
You've been very hostile this entire episode.
Cause that's my cap.
But yeah, I mean SoundCloud, like if we share it on social media or anything, it's the YouTube version.
Yep.
YouTube is the go-to, and plus we can archive everything on YouTube for free, where SoundCloud we have to pay money. So yeah, dropping SoundCloud. If anyone was listening on SoundCloud, sorry, but
Just
we're
subscribe
going-
to us on YouTube.
We're going to the YouTube path now. Anyway, following that, you can comment on the last week of wrestling, your thoughts from Hell in a Cell to Raw to SmackDown to NXT, even though we really didn't get to NXT or SmackDown.
You can also comment on our amazing commentary, too.
Yes.
If you just want to let me know how soft and soothing my voice is, I'll take it. Any compliments, I'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take any compliments.
Feedback is much appreciated as always. And if you don't want to tell us we suck on YouTube, you can always tell us on Twitter.
Send that hate in. I thrive on it.
Yes.
I'm at it, Snick.
I'm at Stephen Herman 10.
I'm at nothing, but you can follow us collectively at The Smark Show.
And that'll do it for us. You can see us next week, guys.
Peace out.